and together we are complete, darling. Keep me up. Only you alone can put fire back in the soul. Keep me up. And they telling me I should leave that fire alone. Well, the more they tell me, the more I'm holding you close.
All right, so welcome back, everybody. We have our special guest now. When I said special guest, the gentleman came in and started to look around, started to look all behind the Christmas tree. I said, you, it is you. Sergeant Ancil Forde is here. Mr. Forde, always good to see and speak with you. Thank you very much for coming this morning. This is the gentleman's last program before 2026, right? So we expect some wealthy words from the gentleman this morning. You see that pressure I've put on your shoulder there?
Pleasant morning, Marlan. Pleasant morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Yeah. And it's always a pleasure to be here.
Yes.
And indeed, I'm going to leave you all with some words to think about. It's important as we close 2025. Yes? So, Marlan, we are looking at the issue of fireworks and the laws, the amendment to the Summary Offences Act that dealt with fireworks and the discharging thereof, right? We also have the issue of increase in, I want to say, fatal road accidents.
Yes.
Yeah? And more or less it came about during the Christmas season here, and it's unfortunate that persons will have lost their lives on the roadway. And then we have school. School about to reopen.
Yes.
Yes? So let's deal with the issue of fireworks. So, Marlan, by way of the Summary Offences Amendment Act, that is 13 of 2025, that deals with the issue of fireworks, it is now, I want to say, unlawful for a person or a corporate to simply go about to discharge fireworks indiscriminately. Yes? It now requires that a person desirous of discharging fireworks, that they apply to the Commissioner of Police for a permit, right? And that permit is on a prescribed form, which you would get via the TTPS's website. And within the form, there would be certain information or documentation that you would be required to supply upon the application, yes? And just to, I want to say, deal with a serious part of it, that application process, is to inform members of the public that if in, I want to say, the submission or completion of that application form, you put false information, yes?
Yes.
The law makes it a serious offense for which you can be exposed to a fine of $50,000 and to a term of imprisonment for 2 years. That is just the application process. So it is the intention is to ensure that the applicant is truthful in relation to the purpose and the type of fireworks, the amount of fireworks. These are some of the information that you would have to put in your application, yes? Right. Now, whilst it is that the general rule or law is you have to apply, the said amendment created 2 exemptions in terms of being exempted from that application process, right? So, the exemption allows for a person to discharge fireworks, right, on public holidays. That is in accordance with the Public Holiday and Festivals Act, and All Year's Night. Yes? So we understand All Year's Night, you are thinking about the bringing of the new year, so you normally have your little fireworks discharging or display, as the case may be. So those 2 exemptions are not open. It is limited, because on a normal public holiday, you have the permission to discharge fireworks between the hours of 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you go outside of that, whether it is before or whether it is after, you are breaking the law, because the exemption is only for that period. Yes? And on Old Year's night, from 11:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. New Year's morning, that is the period of the exemption. Yes? And if it is that you discharge fireworks before 11:30 p.m. or you discharge fireworks after 12:30 a.m. New Year's morning, you are committing an offense. Yes? And you can be dealt with according to law. Now, the law allows for you to be ticketed in that regard, right? And the penalty for that ticket is $450. Now, somebody may say
the
that.
price of a ham. I don't want Mr. Forde is not to respond to that, but I'm going to inject where I can. Yeah, the price of a ham. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Forde.
Yes. So somebody might say $450. I could afford that. But think about it. The reason why the legislation came into being is to, I want to say, control our behavior, to manage the way in which we would have behaved previously, to bring some level of comfort to, I want to say, certain groups, elderly persons. We have babies, we have infants, we have animals, we have sick persons, right? And sick persons referring to persons who may be at public or private hospitals. Even within your own community, there may be sick persons as your neighbor next door who is ill, all right? So understanding that the trauma that these groups, be it persons or animals, as the case may be, experience is one that could bring about more harm to them because of their, in the case of a human being, their state of mind, their state of health, right? In terms of animals, how they are startled by the discharge of the fireworks, right? And that some of them become loose and they run away from their home, end up into the streets, they get knocked down, right? They get killed, as the case may be. It is intended to bring some sort of relief and control to what exists. So to look at it simply and say that it's $450, I could pay that. No, you have to be somebody who's also thinking and acting responsibly, understanding why, right, the legislation is here, and be supportive of it. Be supportive of your neighborhood, the persons within your community. You don't want to make them uncomfortable, right? While some persons may argue that probably there shouldn't be any at all, right? Based on the current law, it allows. However, it is regulated within a certain time frame, yes? And to all and sundry, the Commissioner of Police would like to let them know, right, that with the police, we would aim at enforcing the law as it relates to the discharge of fireworks, right? Now, fireworks has been, I want to say, interpreted broadly, right, to even speak to toy fireworks, right? So, whilst it is that persons may look at snaps, may look at caps gun, right? All of these things, they are now catered for in the legislation, right? To be understood to be fireworks, right? So even the ones that we would give to our children, right? And they would have fun with it. That is also catered for within the law, all right? And it falls within the same time frame. It falls within the same exemptions, right? So as a parent or a guardian, you yourself have to understand that the law also brings this toy fireworks that we may want to consider into, I want to say, it being a possible offense if it was to be discharged outside of the exempted period.
Yeah. How is the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service going to deal with what transpires tomorrow night into New Year's morning? Because my feeling has been over the years that there are some police officers who would have considered the setting off of fireworks as it had become a part of a culture. There has always been a concern about fireworks and the noise and so on, but I think that it became a part of the culture. It is a part of the culture.
Yes.
And there has been a level of acceptance from police officers as to people setting off these fireworks. So again, as we were having a discussion earlier this morning, my impression again is that the police are really outnumbered when it comes to hundreds, maybe thousands of people setting off these fireworks tomorrow night. How are they going to deal with that kind of traffic?
Yes. Okay, so Marlan, you made mention of it being part of our culture, and I want to say from a policing perspective, we do recognize things that are deemed cultural, right? And in dealing with it, we will try to not to disrupt, right, the cultural experience. However, in this particular case here, it is now law that we have to enforce, yes? And the intention of the Commissioner of Police is to ensure that it is enforced, all right? Given the fact that we have 1.4 million as a population versus the number of police officers, we accept that we cannot be at every household, yes? But based on reports coming to us is what we would have to respond to in terms of managing the resources that we have.
So is it then that any report that is made to the police,
yes,
even during the period where people are allowed to set off fireworks, that this report is going to be taken seriously and investigated, and maybe in some cases the police are going to have to visit the area, the affected areas?
Marlan, any report that is made to us, we have a responsibility to, one, to record that report and to conduct the necessary investigation. And this is no different. Yes? I understand, the point being made in terms of, how pervasive it might be. I understand that, right? We can only deal with what comes to us, and we can deal with it within the resources that we have, which may be limited, but we can deal with it within. So to preempt our response, I can't preempt it, but I can say that we will respond as is expected to reports that are made to us.
Because I know us very, very well, and the argument is going to be, well, here's what, we have this hour, so we could do what we want, right? And bring out boxes of fireworks and, but that is not the case, eh?
Well, even within the very said law, Marlan, it limits you in terms of where it can be discharged, right? So on your private premises that you own, you can, and this is within the exemption period, right?
Right.
On a space or land that is not yours with the written permission of the owner. Yes? So where it is, persons may have gone into the roadway, right? Or they may have gone into the field all of these things, it is now limited to your private premises or a place that is not owned by you, but you have written permission from the owner, that is, yes? So it helps, it helps in terms of bringing some level of control to the situation, together with us, the police, being outside there, conducting our patrols and trying to ensure that persons operate within the limits or within the guidelines established by the law.
The law also bans the discharge of fireworks directly in, on, or onto any house, vehicle, or street.
Yes,
or
it does.
Street.
Yes, it does. Yes. And hence the reason, Marlan, we are going to be outside there within the time frame, aiming to enforce the law and ensure that persons comply with the law. Granted, Marlan, that we cannot be everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Madam Producer, if you could give Mr. Forde a few more minutes, because I know that we're heading up to the news and Mr. Forde has at least 2 more issues to deal with. Go ahead, Mr. Forde.
Thank you very much. Yes, Marlan. So, dealing with the issue of road traffic or fatal road traffic accidents, we recognize that over the, I want to say the Christmas holiday up to present, there would have been a few fatal accidents to well.
Yeah.
Right? And
Just touching on that, Mr. Forde, news has come to us that a prison officer and a businessman were killed in an accident in McBean, Couva last night. Go ahead, sir.
That is unfortunate, and condolences to all of the families who are now grieving due to the loss of their loved ones, right? So we have to appeal to drivers. Once it is that you are out there, you are having fun, you have to take your safety into consideration, yes, and the safety of others. Because, Marlan, I presented some statistics earlier on in the year, September, and what was alarming was that the number of passengers who died versus drivers, right? The ratio was significantly higher in relation to the passengers, right? But they weren't driving.
Yeah.
It speaks to even the passengers having some say, or ought to have some say, in the behavior of the driver, right?
Yeah.
And the driver ultimately has to take responsibility for the vehicle and ensuring that, one, I am not speeding, right? I drive within the speed limit, and even though the speed limit speaks 100 kilometers per hour, but the road conditions does not allow me. It is wet. It is raining, right? I, the driver, Marlan, understanding that I have consumed alcoholic beverages, that I take the responsibility of driving seriously, yeah? Because the vehicle does not move by itself, yeah? So oftentimes when it is we investigate and you understand what happened, more likely than not, a driver is culpable. Yes?
Yeah.
And not necessarily because you made a bad drive, you made a wrong decision. Yes, Marlan? So we want to appeal to all road users, drivers, passengers, pedestrians, you all, let us be safer road users. Yes? To the drivers in particular, do the right thing. One life lost is too many.
Yeah.
And over this, I said holiday period here, if my numbers are correct, could be somewhere about 6. Yeah? If I'm wrong by 1 or 2, I will accept that.
Right.
But that is unfortunate and sad for those families, yes?
Mm-hmm.
So, not say much more on that issue, Marlan. Come Monday the 5th of January, we understand that we are going back out to school.
Right.
Yes? And parents, now is the time to start to put your systems in place to ensure that your child, your ward, as the case may be, that he or she is prepared for school, that the necessary arrangements are made in relation to getting them to school safely, having them return home safely, and whilst they are in school, to ensure now that they are back into that state of mind to go to school prepared to learn, to not to be disruptive, to not to give the teachers, a harder task in terms of educating them and controlling the class. And it starts with the parent, it starts within the home. How you prepare your child to go back out to school, and what they understand is or are your expectations in relation to them, by you ensuring that you set the standard and, when necessary, instill discipline. But we want to encourage everyone now, as we are about to close 2025, let us be safe in closing 2025. Let us have fun. Let us obey the law. And for 2026, the Trinidad Tobago Police Service extends best wishes to the whole of Trinidad and Tobago, to the wider world. All the best for 2026. Let us manage our resources well. And how they say, waste not, want not, Marlan. Yes? So, thank you very much,
Mr. Forde going to tighten his belt in 2026, Don't ask him for nothing. Yeah? Mr. Forde, thank you very much for coming this morning. Of course, thank you for your contribution to this program over the years. And I hope that the good people of Trinidad and Tobago would have heard some of the things that you would have said this morning. Because as I said this morning, earlier at the beginning of the program, it would seem that when it comes to this part of the year, it's a very critical point in time. And a lot of bad things happen. Yes. And in many cases, we could have avoided it. So again, thank you very much for coming this morning. And we wish you all the best in the new year, Mr. Forde. And of course, we are going to see you in the new year, with more very important information. Thanks again, sir.
Welcome.
All right, everybody, we are going to a very short break. We're coming back with special guest, boy.
Darling, keep me up. Only you alone could put fire back in the soul. Keep me up. And they telling me I should leave that fire. How long? Well, the more they tell me, the more I'm holding you close. I could never let you go.